Now welcome everybody, welcome back to the Zasko.2 channel. As you guys know, I am the guy going for Radiant both in-game and in real life, mastering what we call the 4 pillars, which are our mental, physical, emotional, and financial health. Having such clear and concise goals to achieve, I have always dreamed of going months with consistent and smooth sailing progression, something that I'm still yet to attain despite almost being a year into my journey. Whether it was spending too much time editing, needing to find more ways to increase my income, dealing with overtraining or information overload, or even just demotivation, stress, and burnout, it always feels like I've been pulled away from my grind and constantly distracted by problems that were just too severe to simply ignore. However, after last week's episode, I did a lot of thinking and reflecting, and I decided to really rebuild my mind from the ground up. What is important to me? What do I believe in? And who actually am I? More than ever, I'm starting to realize that with every small, tiny problem, there's always an underlying deeper meaning. And well, this week, I am on the hunt for the root cause of the stress and lack of energy that have been plaguing my journey up until now. Despite the fact that our battle for mental clarity has been ongoing for many months, we are now in a new era. An era where the success of our mechanical coaching allows for us to pour more resources into winning so that we can finally win this battle and continue on with the war. We haven't got another second to waste, so get comfortable and let's smash out another week of grind. Alright, let's start off this week with an update on where the 4 pillars are up to. Our mental health is probably the biggest thing to work on at the moment. After hyper-focusing stress management, we were so close to breaking through, but once again, there was still that underlying root cause problem that was holding us back from really attaining a stress-free week. After turning off the cameras, I came to the conclusion that it was an issue with my mind and the beliefs that I had instilled. This is something that I still do truly believe, however, I don't think it paints the full picture. Just like I said I would, I went over my IRL remembrances and really made it clear what I want to be. Someone that does extraordinary things in a reasonable amount of time because I've got a really well-balanced life. However, everything is super optimized to make the time that I do put towards things extremely effective. Where do I believe this starts? With energy. And where do I believe energy comes from? The fuel that I give myself. From there, I decided that I was going to start off with my diet. I'm going to optimize it and I'm going to give myself as much energy in a day as possible through it. I immediately started to reflect on what I know works best for me, and eventually I came around to the conclusion that, well, I've actually already solved this problem before. We know that sweet potato, red meat, chicken, and a bunch of veggies and nutrition, as well as a few supplements here and there to optimize things even further, that is all it takes for us to max out our learning speed, energy levels, and overall performance. If from the beginning we already knew that this was the meta diet, then why haven't we stuck with it all this time? Unfortunately, this is where the financial pillar comes in and makes things a little bit tricky. Basically, the vicious cycle that would get me every single time is that I would want to optimize my diet so that I could feel better mentally and physically, but my finances would tank, and then I would be like, oh, I gotta find cheaper ways to go about this. And well, I've never been able to cut corners without having some form of consequence that ends up reintroducing another problem. The food that I'm trying to eat to bulk ate up my entire paycheck is gone, and I've still got a week. I don't earn enough money, so I can't justify eating, so I lose weight. But then with every kilo I lose, the work gets harder and harder, and I get more and more fatigued. My muscles get weaker and weaker and weaker. I lose weight. It's harder and harder. And then I can't work more even if I need more money. Basically, the poor man pays twice. But don't worry, because like I said, we're in a fresh, brand new era now. Thanks to the development of our financial pillar, we don't have to find any more gimmicks or anything of the sort, and instead we can just eat a regular, balanced diet without any guilt or sacrifice whatsoever. I cannot emphasize how much of a game changer this is, but yeah, anyways, on to our physical health. For the sake of simplicity, there's not any massive changes. I'm still sticking to my full body gym split, but I'm also going to be adding in a functional training day. Basically, I'll alternate between training at the gym and then just doing some more practical exercises like my serratus anterior, the muscles that you don't really train at the gym but will still impact our performance nonetheless. In terms of my weight, I'm in the same spot as always. I haven't been able to make any progression so far, and yeah, it's crazy that eating pasta 3 times a day full of fat and cream still wasn't enough to do it. So what we have to anticipate is that switching to sweet potato and meats and stuff like that, it's probably going to be even harder to get enough calories down. That of course is going to be a little challenge, but I'm hoping that we can just get a full system set up, trust that I can support it financially, which was the downfall every other time I've tried this, and simply just forget about it and focus on Valorant. There isn't much of an update on the emotional health pillar besides the fact that it's indirectly being developed by the optimization of my energy. I've started to implement yoga nidra meditation, which has just increased my self-awareness and presence of mind, and that just always helps our emotional health pillar. The financial health pillar is probably one of the biggest changes on the series so far. I once heard Alex Hormozi say something along the lines of how your wealth is an indication of how much value you provide to the world. And simply put, if you want to make money, you just need to provide value to people, because that's what money is for. It's just a form of value that you can then trade for something of equal value. I ran with the idea and I provided as much value as I could to the Valorant community. After all, I am your typical APAC player obsessed with mastering the art of killing people in Valorant. So yeah, to be able to give that insight to some of the NA EU players that just aren't as surrounded by that mindset and culture, well, that's what's been able to help me comfortably afford my food now, and I'm very happy. Now, we also can't forget about the KoFi, because that is literally the backbone of this channel. A couple weeks ago, I upgraded everything and introduced in the 3-tier system where we do a monthly raffle, and at the start of this month, we did end up picking out a winner and they got their free coaching session, which was really sick. Besides that, they get access to a weekly Q&A video and a really cool Discord server. Before we do get stuck into our week of grind, I will just quickly say that the link to the mechanical coaching and the KoFi are in the description below, and both tremendously support my journey to IRL Radiant. Now, since the last week, nothing has changed about my morning. Every day starts with a clear and concise plan, as well as everything I need to get myself out the door. Another more exciting update is that the gym is no longer impacting my aim whatsoever, and I actually couldn't even tell you which days I've trained or not. After smashing out my usual barbell exercises, I get straight home for a post-workout meal consisting of a burger, cheese, sweet potato, and some salad. Hello, how's it going?
Pretty good, how are you?
Yeah, very good, man. We're peaking, stopping, but then moving again, moving our mouse. So we're going to have to break down what should this peak look like. Let me know when you think you're fully set up to take the fight. Anyway, now from here, what I want you to do is just take those 2 full steps and see where your crosshair lands. I would be really happy with that. 2 hours of coaching down and I'm feeling alive, okay? I'm feeling alive and I'm fiending a comp grind. So max intensity, okay? Max intensity, let's smash it. Okay, yeah, so the food choice alone was enough to skyrocket my energy. Now it's time to get stuck into our comp session, which will be a perfect benchmark to see if our energy is really sustainable. Before we get stuck into the mechs training session, we just need to do a quick reflection. We started off with the gym, we came home and we did 2 back-to-back coaching sessions, and then we got straight into 3 comp games. I had enough energy to showcase some of our improvements, but I definitely didn't have enough energy to just give it my full max potential, and I felt really drained. Like I couldn't even really get myself to calm that much. Now, as of right now, I still feel extremely mentally fatigued. What I'm going to do is just smash out this mechanics training as a sort of disciplinary act, and then I'll find some better ways to get my energy levels up a bit more. Okay, so being 5 o'clock and still not having had my second meal yet is not ideal. I've always had a bit of a habit of hyper fixating on things and neglecting other things, and yeah, food is definitely the one that cops it the hardest. Despite feeling snappy, sharp, and clear from the really nutritious and clean diet, we're not going to be able to put out the volume that we want to if we don't get ourselves into a calorie surplus, and well, unfortunately, we can't get ourselves into a calorie surplus if we continuously forget to eat. That's all my work done for the day, and I'm so fried. I am more fried than usual. I don't know why, but that's all good because now we change the pace. Now everything from here on out is just relaxation zen. The rest of my time I completely switched off and it was amazing. I got to do some putting, meal prep all my food, and even get some Chinese down. 我是他的朋友的，
我是他的朋友。
我是他的朋友，他不会写字，请坐。
坐，
请坐，
请坐，请坐。But most importantly, I smashed out a 1-hour yoga nidra meditation. Now, if you remember the functional training that I mentioned at the start of the video, well, this is it. The first thing that I do is go back and forth between 1 minute of planking and 1 minute of like a bridge hold type of thing. After 3 of each, I get onto my shoulder exercises, which I use a resistance band to train the internal and external rotations. Now, these exercises were extremely effective in creating some more stability with my aim, but the absolute game changer was the serratus anterior something in my chest. That helped a lot as well. But anyways, check out this Chinese clip that I hit.
今天太热了。
热了。今天太热了。First resource that I'm going to give you is this peaking self-assessment checklist, okay? These are the steps that we're going to follow to learn the concept, but whenever you want to watch back your gameplay, you're going to use this checklist to review your peaking technique. Okay, so I messed up my time somehow, and then I needed to rearrange my mechanical coaching sessions. I did 2 again, back to back, which is the same as yesterday. However, instead of it being from 10 till 12, it was from 11 till 1, which is 1 hour later. So it's already 1:15 now. I'm thinking that I should just do 2 comp games today because I could do my usual 3, but then everything gets pushed back and then we're taking away from our rest time, which we're trying to really value and do properly, and I don't want to rush it, you know what I mean? So I think we just have to adapt to 2 comp games today. Oh, 是很好。
我棒棒哒，我棒棒哒。
漂亮。怎么? So yeah, in this comp session, I learned that it's one thing to read Chinese characters out loud, and it's a whole nother thing to speak to a Chinese person without confusing everyone. Share. I did end up sticking to just 2 games. We smashed them out, ate some mackerel sweet potato, and just got out in the great outdoors and came back inside to smash out my mechanics. For my death matches, I was playing them without sound, and then for my team death matches, I was just running around.
Yo, we lost.
Rain is dead. Nah, lock in. Everyone group up.
Okay,
40 tags over, bro. Bang bang, that's all the worky tasks done for the day, and now I get to relax. The 2 comp games that I played today, I only played 2, were way better than yesterday. We're working harder, but we're also resting harder. I'm really happy that I made the decision to not play an extra comp game, because that means that I'm not going to make the same mistake as always, which is to still try and get everything done despite things not going to plan. Not only that, but my Chinese and everything that I've been practicing in Val, it's getting better, okay? The optimized learning is coming back. Let's keep it up. Another bowl of mackerel and sweet potato down, and I get straight into some more mechs. This was just a bit of a bonus, and I wanted to revisit angle hold V2 to just sharpen my technique a little bit. I just queue up the scenario into free play mode and then smash out 10 minutes on each side and just make sure I'm super focused the entire time. The rest of my night went to some Duolingo as well as some editing, so I didn't switch off as much as the previous one, but hey, I was able to get out a brand new video on the second channel and still smash out a 1 hour meditation. The first thing that I've noticed since not working myself into the ground is that I'm not sleeping as much as I normally do. Instead of needing like 9 hours or so, I'm waking up after 8 feeling pretty good. Yesterday, I definitely did not eat enough once again. I only had a couple bowls of sweet potato and I didn't get much fat down either. That's why we're going to make our own version of the nutty pudding inspired by the guy that spent like $2 million figuring out how to make the most optimal pudding. We need to restructure this whole setup here. The way that I promote doing it in a slice is to start off with the setup. Alright, well, once again, we are faced with our comp session of the day. As I warm up, I want to explain that the comp session is not a benchmark of how much this new diet improves our performance. This comp session is like a stress test for my brain to see how much cognitive work I can do based on the amount of calories that I eat. Since quitting the pasta meta diet, which was just not meta at all, I've been in a mega calorie deficit, just trying to wrap my head around how much food I'm supposed to be eating. The thing is though, yesterday I barely ate at all, and now once again I'm like halfway through the day having barely eaten. It's almost like I'm just way too distracted by everything else I'm trying to do in a day, and I'm not solving the problem that I'm supposed to be solving. Okay, that was 2 games. I'm not going to play a third one because I am so hungry. It's 3 o'clock now and I'll probably finish the game past 3:30, which I want to be comp cut off anyways. And yeah, I need to reschedule my meal times because to be having just that small like smoothie bowl for literally the first like 7 hours of the day is not it. It doesn't work. So we've got to rework that. But the fact that yesterday I just didn't really eat that much, and then again today I didn't eat that much. Yeah, obviously we're paying the price for that. Like I don't feel energized at all, but I feel really clear and it felt really good just eating like a nutritious bowl of just goodness. But I need that as well as the actual caloric energy that you get from just eating more food. Anyways, valuable. At this point, I finally start to kick into gear and I just get myself to the shops and I buy a bunch of food. But yeah, I ended up forgetting to buy sweet potato at the shops, and then I was stuck with just a burger, cheese, and what was left in the fridge. From there, I smash out some editing and then I get stuck into a Chinese tutoring session. The lessons are only like $8 an hour, and if I can play with Kang Kang sooner, like that is well worth it. 我是学习汉语吃左朋友康康. It might take me a couple years, but one day there's gonna be Chinese videos as well as these. I'll voice over them in both. Okay, now the voiceover me is getting distracted. So basically, we've meal prepped 2 kilos of sweet potato, an overnight oats, and a nutty pudding, all for tomorrow. And well, now the only thing left to mention for the day is that I did spend a copious amount of time studying Chinese, which I don't think is a good thing. That was like excessive. But yeah, being like super fatigued from a calorie deficit, you just start binging things. And for me, my vice, it's not like YouTube or anything, it's just studying Chinese. 我非常喜欢上中文课. Now, my reflections for the week are that diet is probably the most important thing in the universe. For me at least, because after all, it is responsible for our gains in the gym, and it's responsible for the amount of cognitive output that I can put out throughout an entire day, aka how much I can grind Valorant and how much quality I can bring to each video. And well, because a huge part of that is obviously getting in enough calories, I have been eating an absurd amount of sweet potato. Like genuinely, I am now getting down 2 kilos of sweet potato a day, and I have been for a few days now. While voiceovering this as well, I've just been literally eating out of this container, this 2 kilo container. Now, because I only record 3 days a week, you guys actually don't know what is gonna happen after I eat all this sweet potato. And I'm just going to tell you and say that literally everything got better. Everything I thought was going to happen happened. I felt amazing. I had my energy back, and yeah, I was able to just do everything to a really high standard again. Even like this video. I don't know if you can tell, but I've got more energy to record a video, and that's because I've been eating an absurd amount of sweet potato every single day since ending this recording. So from here, a couple things need to happen that are very, very, very important and crucial in maintaining this higher energy. Number 1, we need to make sure that we maintain this standard of eating, because what will happen is our stomach will adapt and it'll become easier for us to eat this amount of food, which clearly I'm just not used to yet. Number 2 though, we need to make sure that we keep up our systems, okay? We don't like let them slip away. We need to make sure we're shopping at the right time. We've always got stocked up sweet potato. Basically, I just need to make it as easy for myself to get the food down as possible. And that's literally it. But also, my girlfriend gave me the idea to actually introduce some meals that I don't have to cook. For example, sourdough. We know that's clean, that's good, that's easy, low GI. We've also got peanut butter, which is fat, higher in calories. That'll also help dramatically. And hey, peanut butter on sourdough, that is effortless. Then maybe I only need to eat like 1.75 kilograms of sweet potato, you know? But guys, this is the home stretch, okay? 3 years into our bulk, and we are going to make it happen. We're going to surpass the weight that we started at, okay? We're going to do it. If I get a single comment telling me to dirty bulk Maccas, I'll learn how to curse in Chinese just to curse. But besides those people, I love you all so much. I just wish nothing but the best for you, and best of luck on your grind. I'll continue to smash my own, and yeah, I'll see you all next week where we hopefully get more Valorant in.